In today's video, where are the most affordable options in terms of freehold, mainly detached and semi-detached, located within the central GTA? Let's get to it. Hello everyone, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate and Remax Realtron Realty Inc. As always, back with another video for you guys here today. You can find my contact information in terms of my social media and office information in the description box. Feel free to get in touch with me with any questions you have with regards to topics covered in this video or topics covered in previous videos or any general inquiries whatsoever with regards to the Toronto/GTA real estate market. Lastly, if you happen to enjoy these videos, find them informative, feel free to subscribe, comment, rate, and review. Your support in that regard is greatly appreciated, but as I always say, you're not obliged to do so whatsoever, which makes me kind of laugh because people always say, why do you say that? Well, I want to, that's why. Anyways, let's get to the point of today's video, which is where are the more affordable options with regards to freehold properties within the central GTA. Now, let's define that quickly here. By freehold properties, I'm mainly talking about semis and detached townhomes. I'll make a separate video on that, but in this video, the focus is semis and detached. And central GTA, I really truly mean York Region and Toronto. We're not accounting for Durham or Peel, ESSA, Simcoe, wherever it may be. And it's not as if those areas, by the way, when you look at the average sold prices and median sold prices, have more affordable options that I'm not focusing on. Actually, if we were to include those, the most affordable option would be one of the ones we're discussing today. But I just wanted to mainly focus on central GTA. And when we look at the average sold prices, right, let's take the most recent month we have in full as an example. We see that every area, region, and municipality within York Region and within Toronto have an average sold price of above $1 million. In the more affordable areas within the city of Toronto in terms of detached and semis, you're still looking at an average sold price for detached, for instance, around 1.2, and those are the cheapest areas within the city of Toronto, which happen to be certain parts of Scarborough, eastern side of Toronto. And of course, forget the central portions of Toronto, all the way from Steeles and Yonge to Eglinton and Yonge to downtown, Bathurst and Bayview, those main arteries, if you're going to use those as central parts of Toronto. There, your average, and this is just the average, right? Sold prices for detached, you're looking at, as of at least the full month of December, $2.3 to $2.5 million. And once again, keep in mind, that's average. To give you a more precise number, central Toronto as defined by TREP codes, so the C's, C8, C11, C14, C7, C4, the average sold price was at $2.395. Similarly, with most municipalities of York Region, what actually used to be quite affordable as of 2018-17, now you're looking at an excess of $1 million as well. Richmond Hill is at $2 million. King is above $1.5 million. Newmarket is above $1.4 million. Aurora is above $1.4 million. But the only municipality, at least as of December 2021, right, the last month we have in full, that actually had an average sold price lower than 1 million and median sold price as well, was Georgina. The only municipality within the central portions of the GTA that you can get a detached property for less than $1 million. Namely, to be specific, as of December 2021, so just looking at December 1st to end of December, the average sold price was around 960, and I believe 964. The precise number will be on the screen. 960 some odd $1,000, whereas the median was closer to 930. Still in the 900s, but quite affordable compared to the other areas within the GTA that we're talking about. Now, if we were to actually look at Georgina as it is drawn on a map in terms of the boundaries, we see that it's quite far up north. I mean, you know, you can go further north for sure. And Ontario itself is quite a huge province. I've actually driven the entirety of Ontario about 3 times. And I understand that Georgina is like a couple of steps down the street compared to the enormity that is Ontario, but within the GTA, of course, Georgina is far up north, to the point wherein 404 actually ends, and that's where Georgina kind of starts. Then a lot of development in Georgina in terms of residential is by the water, Lake Simcoe. Furthermore, when we break down Georgina into its sub-communities, sub-municipalities, you have Keswick North, Keswick South, and the Lakeshore historical communities. That is where most of the transactions occur in terms of freehold, and that is where the crux of the residential properties are. So what we see when we take a look, a general look, albeit at the range of properties that's sold in terms of prices, it's pretty much what you would think it is. The cheapest detached options within Georgina, according to sold prices, were far up north, so even further up north in terms of Georgina is concerned. So Keswick North, the historical lake communities, so well into Georgina. The closer you get into the end of the 404, so to Keswick South, no longer Keswick North or Lakeshore communities, you see higher sold prices, more or less. That is the trend geographically, right? There's outliers here and there. Furthermore, Georgina doesn't have that many townhomes. I know I said we're not going to discuss townhomes, but generally speaking, the housing stock in Georgina, there's very few townhomes, less semis. There's a lot of detached, right? So this average sold price of December 1st to January 13th is based upon 75 transactions. Just to give you a little quick clue, of those 75 transactions, about 50 of them are included within Keswick South, Keswick North, and Lakeshore communities. That's in terms of how things break down in terms of area. When we look at it based upon detached and semis, about 90% of those 75 transactions are fully detached. That's actually, I think, being conservative now I think about it. It's probably closer to 95, but let's just say 90%. So there's a lot of detached. And of those detached, there is a fair portion of 2 stories, so the disparity is not that big, but it's mostly side splits, bungalows, or bungalow raised. So for a lack of a better word, for sake of simplicity, of course, there's a difference between a side split and there's a difference between a bungalow and a bungalow raised, but generally speaking, you could think of it properties as just 1 story or 1.5 story, not 2-story properties. The breakdown there of the 75 sold is a little bit more balanced, but still leaning toward the bungalow variety. I would say it's a 60-40 split. And that's, I think, not indicative of just our sample size period, but generally speaking, of the housing stock that is available. So I think, this is not an outlandish prediction whatsoever. I think we're not going to see Georgina remain below $1 million in average sold price, not only for, the end of 2022, but even until March. I would be very surprised, and this can end pretty poorly. People can clip this and say I was wrong, but I would be very surprised. But if by March, April, we're still looking at a lower than average sold price of $1 million within Georgina. Anyways, if you have any further questions, feel free to ask me in the comments or via my social media. There's a lot more videos coming out, building reviews, pre-con previews, weekly condo market update, as I always do, and a lot more that I have planned. So as always, feel free to subscribe, comment, rate, and review. And as I said, get in touch with me with any further questions. Thank you very much. Stay safe and stay tuned. Thank you.